Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Blessings to the elect. It's Brother Yatzak from the Great Millstone, Dallas camp. Just wanted to exhort the octave, you know what I'm saying? Going to the Strait gate, the flavor of the month is these wacky tacky Christians, and the Strait gate doesn't exist to the so-called Christians, They have their own philosophies, they have their own breakdowns of the Bible, which is a private interpretation, as long as you're nice to people, as long as you, and they say these things, as long as you're nice to people, as long as you this, as long as you that, when in actuality, separating yourself from people will be the better option, The more people that you deal with that are outside of this truth, the more you can fall into the traps and the snares that's set before us to fall out of this thing. You know what I'm saying? A couple lessons ago, I went into how Satan, his job is to test everybody for Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? And when you're on that straight gate, when you are, first of all, to even know you on a straight path is a start. You know what I'm saying? And when Satan sees that you have entered into that path, it's his duty to make sure that you don't make it to the end if you're not right. You know what I'm saying? He's going to throw all types of things at you, So let's just get to it. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate." Straight meaning a position of difficulty. You know what I'm saying? Say, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and there be many, many there be which go in thereat." And you have all these different denominations. You have the Christians, you got Baptist Church, the Pentecostal Church, you know what I'm saying, Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witness, so on and so forth. And you notice that these different religions have huge congregations. You know what I'm saying? But none of these religions actually go into what the Bible is actually speaking of. First of all, because they have a 501c3 charter, which is a government-issued statute, pretty much, that dictates what a organization gets to touch on in the Bible. And they pretty much allow you to push that plantation Christianity. Love your masters. You can eat whatever you want. Just do it. Just say you love Jesus and that's it. Well, you have to rip out a whole lot of pages in the Bible for that to be true, first of all. And even if you do rip all the pages out, it's already out there, How Israelites supposed to carry yourself, how people are supposed to carry themselves personally, socially, spiritually. It's all in the scriptures. So these churches, especially the Christian church, they let you do whatever you want. As long as you are nice to people and you putting money in the bucket, everything else is cool. But that's not true, It says many there be which go in there at, going to that broad way, which is them churches and all these other different avenues. Verse 14, it says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So with the Lord talking about saving his elect and destroying everybody else, that's letting you know there's a line drawn in the sand. And to serve the Lord, you're going to have to get rid of a whole lot of things that you were doing in your life prior to coming into this straight gate. You know what I'm saying? The straight gate means that you're going to have to get rid of a whole lot of impurities. You're going to have to be purged to be meet for repentance when the Lord sent his son back. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. And the church is not preparing you for that. All right, let's get a precept to that. I'm going to go get 2nd Ezra chapter 7. It goes a little bit more into detail. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to start at the top. It says, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. It says, and when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel which had been sent unto me for the nights afore. He said unto me, Up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell you. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But the entrance were narrow like a river. Who then could go into a sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? You know what I'm saying? Basically, the narrow is gonna get you to the kingdom. It's gonna get you to life, everlasting life. You know, but how are you gonna get to the kingdom without tribulation? You know, the Apostle Elder Gabar, he likes to mention how his elder, I want to say it was Elder High Priest Jaquab, if I'm not mistaken, he was talking about how we had to get a lesson in wickedness to go along with the lesson in righteousness to be able to rule. You know, and this is the process that we are taking place in right now. You know, as the hopeful elect. It says, who then could go into the sea and look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come through the broad? Verse 6, it says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, that city being the kingdom, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, that straight gate. You know what I'm saying? Right now, where I'm at, I'm walking on a narrow path. I'm walking on a narrow strip of concrete, pacing back and forth as I do this lesson. You know what I'm saying? And it is a narrow path that I'm on. You know, but I'm not in danger of falling off. On one side you got grass, and on one side you got sand. But to keep up with the metaphor, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if it were on a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water. You know, and both of those things can be to your detriment. Water can drown you, and fire can burn you to death. You know. It says, verse 8, it says, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. But along the way, you know, you got brothers that's going one by one, all going one at a time, trying to get through the straight gate. But we on that line together. We on that tightrope together. You know what I'm saying? So if you behind a brother and you see him slipping and falling, you can admonish him and say, hey, tilt your hips. You know what I'm saying? Tilt your hips more to the right. Tilt your hips more to the left. Spread your arms out. You know what I'm saying? Balance yourself out. You know? And you have to be able to look after your brothers. That's a part of the straight gate. You know what I'm saying? A part of the straight gate is feeding the sheep. You know, the Apostle Elder Tahar made the decree to go ahead and put up 3 videos a week. You know what I'm saying? Which is a part of the straight gate. Because if you're doing 3 lessons a week, which is really easy, 30 minutes a week, you know what I'm saying? 30 minutes a week, 3 videos a week at 10 minutes a piece at least. That's at least 30 minutes out your week. You know, that's a part of the straight gate. But at the same time, the more lessons you put up, the less danger you are in as far as being surrounded by the world. You know what I'm saying? The Most High got the angels encamped around about the men that fear him, and the men that fear him is going to push his word, because that's the order. And that's a part of the straight gate. You know what I'm saying? With what's coming to America and what's set up for Israel, man, it'd be best to take your lumps now, you know what I'm saying, so that you can be protected in that day. You know? That chip is going to be in your face, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of your path to whether you're going to fall to the right, fall to the left, or stay on course. You know? Famine, destruction. You know, your family is going to be uncomfortable. That's a part of the straight gate. You know? Understanding that it's only a matter of time before all the luxuries that we have right now are going to be taken away. You got to know that now. You know? Understanding that you might be homeless and hungry and frustrated ahead of time is better than knowing that when it's actually happening, you know? Verse 9, it says, if the city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? You know? We already said when the Lord put Adam on the scene, we went off. You know? We went off when he put Adam on the scene. But the thing was, it was all a part of the plan. It was all a part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? We had to see that straight gate so we could understand rulership. The right hand side, the left hand side, we had to be able to understand all of that. You know? It says, if the city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive his inheritance? And I said, is it so, Lord? Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. The kingdom is Israel's portion, man. You know? It says, because for their sakes I made the world. When Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now it's done. You know, so when Adam went off, that was the beginning of us learning the left-hand side, you know? And keep in mind, the Lord ain't subject to time like we are. So the time that we learning the left-hand side is a very, very short time compared to everlasting. You know, it's a very long time, you know? Everlasting is everlasting. A season is a season, you know? And we have to be able to distinguish the difference between the two. It says, because the Lord, for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was the decree that now is done. It says, then were the entrances of this world made narrow. Speaking of the kingdom, it's going to be hard to get into the kingdom. You're going to have to earn it. Full of sorrow and travail. You know, the churches ain't telling you that you're going to have sorrow and travail. They telling you you're going to have prosperity, and this is your year. This is the difference. You know what I'm saying? And like the apostle said, we going to keep on banging on you Christians because y'all got some explaining to do, man. Y'all just say stuff that don't have nothing to do with the scriptures, and you think it's fact because you love Jesus. Nah, man. Nah. It's not how it works, man. Y'all are way off, man. It says, then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. See, this is the warning that our people need, man. Because our people been lollygagging and playing for way too long, man. You know, this childlike mentality that has been instilled in our people through the so-called white man is going to come to a head, man. It's going to come to a head. It says, for the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So if you're not willing to fight, if you're not willing to strive for and go through the straight gate, then you're not worthy, man. You're not worthy. And all of us come from all different types of walks of life. I get it. Yeah, whatever. But when you come on this straight gate, you all got the same goal, right? To get into the kingdom of heaven. You know? It says, now therefore, why disquietest thyself, seeing that thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is come, rather than that which is present? You know? Focus on the straight gate. You know? That's where we at right now. That's where we at, you know? And part of that straight gate is catching the hell. You know, part of that straight gate is going out being cold, being hot, instant, in season, out of season. The straight gate entails a whole lot of things, man. But all the things that the straight gate entails is pulling you out of the world. You know what I'm saying? How the scripture said that the way of the world is enmity with the Most High. Come out of the world. How the Lord stresses for you to come out of the world. Well, when you come out of that world and you come into this one, which is this truth, you see the difference, you know? And the more you get into this truth, the more you want to get out of the world, the more you want to stay away from the world as much as possible, man. We would love to quit our jobs and do all that stuff, man, but we have to maintain, we have to rule. We have to rule our spirits, you know? You have to rule your spirit in this thing, man. And the straight gate is the only way that you're going to be able to do it, you know? Let me get let me see, feed my sheep. Alright, feed my lambs. This is the most important part of the straight gate. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Elder Monazizak's video that he did, that he did about staying in the loop. You know what I'm saying? And he mentioned how the Apostle Elder Tahar stated that the elect is already sealed. You know what I'm saying? We just got to manifest it. We just got to wait for it to manifest itself. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you looking at this thing like it's taking too long and it's tarrying and all that, you're not in the spirit, man. You need to be looking at this thing like every single day that I get a chance to get up and do this work is another opportunity, another moment for me to prove my worth. You know, for me to show that I'm meet for repentance. You know, the Lord is already perfect. We the ones that got to do the work. So, you know what I'm saying? If 3 videos a week is too much for you, I'm going to ask you this. This is John chapter 21, verse 15. It says, so when they had dined, Yahushua said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he had said him to the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, feed my sheep. This is what we have been charged with, Akim. This is what we have been charged with. Feed the sheep. Feed the sheep. Why? When you feed the sheep, they grow. You know, this is our job. This is our job. You can't feed the sheep if you still attached to the world to the point to where this don't come first. So if you need to make some decisions or rearrange some things or whatever you need to do, I suggest you do it, because that straight gate is coming, man. That straight gate is coming. Ain't no way of getting around that straight gate coming for you, man. You know? So at least if you're going to be on the straight gate, you need to be equipped with the tools that's going to get you to the other side, man. And that's this word, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, this brotherhood, doing your work, showing your value, making your calling and election sure. All these different things. Blessed to he that read it, study to show thyself approved. You know, these are the things that's going to get you out of the world if you want to leave it. Only if you want to leave it, you know. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and blessings to the elect. Shalom. Keep fighting, Akim. We're just getting started.